Good morning.
Little news breaking last night.
I'll say.
How are you, Mr. Sharp?
I'm good, bro. You?
I like that look there.
Thank
That's
you.
interesting.
College educated.
Yeah, okay.
Well, since you brought up the news from last night, we are going to start in Columbus and everything that is going on with Ohio State. They have suspended Urban Meyer for the first 3 games of the season after their investigation found he mishandled domestic abuse allegations against a former assistant coach. The school said that even though Urban did not condone or cover up the domestic abuse, he failed to take sufficient action. They also said he did not, quote, deliberately lie when asked about it at Big Ten Media Day. Athletic Director Gene Smith was also suspended. Let's take a listen to Urban Meyer yesterday.
I'm fully aware that I'm ultimately responsible for the situation that has harmed the university as a whole and our Department of Athletics and our football program. I want to apologize to Buckeye Nation. I followed my heart, not my head. I fell short in pursuing full information because at each juncture I gave Zach Smith the benefit of the doubt. I did a poor job at Media Day. It's a big reason why we're here today. I was not being as complete and as accurate as I should have been at Media Day and afterward. But there is no intent to mislead. My role is to set a good example. In this instant, I did not live up to the university's standards. The suspensions are tough, but I fully accept them. I wish I could go back and make the different decisions, but I can't. These difficult lessons are a constant reminder of the duties and obligations that I have as a member of this university and this community.
What message do you have for Courtney Smith?
Well, I have a message for everyone involved in this. I'm sorry that we're in this situation. And I'm just sorry we're in this situation.
Shannon, was the punishment enough?
Absolutely not. Urban Meyer should have been fired. Athletic Director Gene Smith should have been fired.
Really?
Shelley Meyer should be relieved from her post at the Ohio State University, Skip. They lied. They covered it up. Skip, the end of Ohio State says, based on the independent investigation, we want to state clearly that we believe Urban Meyer does not condone domestic abuse. However, Skip, you can't say someone did or did not do something and then immediately after say however or but. However, he did fail to take sufficient management actions regarding Zach Smith. And he was not completely accurate at Big Ten. Skip, why is it so hard in 2018 to say a person lied? Why do we say he wasn't accurate? Why must we say we weren't completely forthcoming? Skip, he lied.
Okay.
He knew all of this. And when the reporter asked him about it, he's like, I don't know anything about it, when he had full knowledge of it. And then he says, I don't even know where you come up with stuff like this. He was questioning the reporter, even though he didn't know what they knew. He lied. If you reread this report, 23 pages, and this independent investigation is great. Skip, if you read it, forget who the coach is. You say there's no way he's going to keep his job. There's no way the athletic director is keeping his job. It also says, Skip, that they believe, due to the closeness of the relationship between Urban Meyer and his wife, Shelley, they believe that they had conversation about this matter and the seriousness of it. That's what the independent investigation believed. But somehow Ohio State, they got this report and they looked for one reason. We got to find a reason to keep him. 47-3 in Big Ten play, won 93% of the games. There's no question in my mind, had Urban Meyer at any point in time been 7-6, had a 500 Big Ten record, he's up out of Ohio State, Skip. This is a travesty. And this man, and then Urban Meyer is going to come on. The reporter asked him, what do you have to say to Courtney Smith? I'm sorry that we're all in this situation. Courtney, I am so sorry. I failed you. I did not believe, because the report said that Urban and Shelley Meyer did not believe that Courtney was telling the truth.
They didn't think she was credible.
In other words, they thought
they both testified to the investigators. They just didn't think she was credible.
So in other words, that's another way of saying she lied. See, it's still hard in 2018 to say somebody's lying. Skip, why not, Courtney? I'm so sorry that we failed you. I failed you. Urban said Courtney and Zach was in his office at the University of Florida. Courtney said, that didn't happen. The independent investigator says, it is our belief that that meeting did not take place, and that meeting took place between Urban Meyer and Zach Smith. Again, he lied. He had information about this in 2009, what happened.
But he's saying that she lied about the meeting, that she was not present at the meeting.
And the independent investigator said they believe that she was not present at the meeting.
Did they conclude that? I didn't get that conclusion.
It was, yeah,
because that just her word versus his word.
It said
go ahead.
It was more like, we find it more likely that Zach Smith met with Coach Meyer in 2009 and that Courtney Smith likely did not.
Okay, but that's, yeah, okay, that she did not.
Right.
So, all right.
So the independent investigator, that's what they're doing. Now, Skip, all they go doing, they're going to get their money one way or they get their money regardless.
I got it.
Forget what they find. They find
Although
this information.
I never quite trust when you hire somebody to investigate. I don't know. You're paying them to investigate. Are they really going to go all the way? I don't know. But go ahead.
They give you the information, then it's your job to do what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
It's just so disappointing in that, given that Urban Meyer history at University of Florida, and this happened in 2009. And so even though Zach Smith, who all this, the majority of this goes on him, I fault the others for covering this up because they had an opportunity to do the right thing at every turn, and they refused to do it. It wasn't until all of this came out that all of a sudden he wanted to do the right thing when he didn't want to do the right thing before this reporter and everybody started snooping.
Okay.
Skip. When Ohio State, he recommended to the athletic director that they hire Zach Smith, knowing what had transpired in 2009. Zach Smith didn't reveal that to athletic director Gene Smith, nor did Urban Meyer. Nor did they look. See, if you want to find something, you look hard. You look long. When you don't, you give it a passing glance. And that's what they did in this situation. Skip, this is so sad that in 2018, has Urban Meyer been in a tunnel? Does he not know what domestic violence is? I thought from 2014, after the Ray Rice incident, Skip, we know full well these things don't go away. So it's best to go ahead and be forthcoming. What should have happened? He's like, I understand that your grandfather gave me the opportunity. And he listened to his heart. Granted, his heart said, your grandfather gave me my opportunity. I'm going to pay it forward. I'm going to give you your opportunity. But at some point in time, this young man, Zach Smith, had done enough bad things for you to part ways. And if his grandfather comes to you and you just say, I'm sorry, I just could not, because he was making this program and he was making me and he's making you look really bad. And I just could not afford to keep him around. Skip, there's no way Urban Meyer should still be in this job. And you suspended him for 3 games? Well, he misses. Well, he can coach and practice 2 of the 3 games, but he just can't coach in the game.
Yeah.
Skip, they suspended a North Carolina quarterback 4 games for selling his tennis shoes.
They did?
Urban Meyer gets 3 games. I'm trying to figure out how Gene Smith kept his job. He's been involved in 2 of the worst scandals in Ohio State history.
He has?
Pant Gate, with Tattoo Gate, in this situation. And somehow he's just sitting back like here, getting his job. And then for that, that's enough. We go ahead, Skip, make your point. I'll get on the president later.
Okay. So I cannot completely disagree with your position that he should have been fired. I strongly agree with your position that this was nothing but a slap on the wrist. And I tweeted last night, as soon as I heard the initial news breaking, that at the very least, he should have been suspended for the entire football season, as should have been Gene Smith, the AD. Because to say, you're going to miss 1 game that you cannot prepare your team for, the opener, and then the next 2 games, you can actually coach your team all the way up to kickoff. You could do whatever you want to with the team to get them ready for the game. You just can't go out on the sideline. Well, knowing technology today, he'll somehow be in touch with somebody doing something. You don't think he'll have some input into the strategy that unfolds during the game? Of course. I will bet you he does. So this is a light slap on the wrist at the very most is what that is.
Okay.
So now let's step back and say, what did we find out? That they conclude in this report he did not deliberately lie at Big Ten Media Day. Yes, he did. He just flat out deliberately lied. And they went so far as to say that they're giving him a break because Urban now takes medicine that can, quote, negatively impair his memory, concentration, and focus on occasion.
And that's
so they're trying to give him a break. He's on some medication. We know he's taken some sabbaticals for stress. That the medication he's on can impair his memory. You buying that?
No.
I'm not buying it. He's the head coach at the Ohio State, and he loses his memory? I think not. I'm not buying that one. Then we find out that they have proven, they have testimony that Urban Meyer, when his director of football operations informed him of the Brett McMurphy report, said, what can we do now? And that the football operations director suggested that there is a mechanism in your phone whereby you can go back and delete all text messages from a year and back.
Anything,
right?
Yep.
And they did that because his phone had only the text messages of the past year, deleting potential damning text messages from long before.